Welcome to the November 4th edition of the Index Sports Show. I'm Jack Nickel, managing editor Index, Logan Jackson, sports editor, and with us we have a special guest, head men's basketball coach Jack Strader. Coach, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Nice setup.
And this week we're doing a basketball preview special section for both the men and the women. So decided to have Coach Strader on from the men's team. Coach, you got 7 seniors coming back, one fourth-year junior in Vesko Filchev. How much do you think the experience is going to play a part this season?
Well, it always helps. The good experiences and the bad experiences. You learn from the bad experiences, the good experiences you want to repeat. It'll be interesting to see how the year unfolds. A lot depends upon how our guys stick with it, hang in there, help each other out, and that's the thing during the senior year. I've had it both ways. I've had guys sort of kind of become excited about moving on to the next thing, graduation. All these guys are going to graduate on time. Sometimes they really hunker down, and this is where they want to be.
And like we mentioned, you do have a lot of upperclassmen, but you also bring in several freshmen. What kind of things are the freshmen going to add to this team?
Well, no doubt. They're all recruited because of their energy. Energy, the intangibles. I don't think too many of them had off-the-chart statistics. They were solid. Some of them more so than others. But energy, enthusiasm, work ethic, attitude, just what you want new blood to bring in. And maybe one of the things lacking with the senior group, that new blood that sort of energizes them.
And I know we talked a lot about the defense. Last year you played a little bit of zone, played man-to-man, kind of mixed things up. What are you going to do this year on the defensive end of the ball?
Well, we'll do what works. That's the whole goal. Man-to-man defense is what we usually always come back to. The main thing that I think that we may change is our transition defense. I don't like people getting easy baskets. I don't want to give them up. But one thing I think that hurt us was our rebounding offensively, defensively. We have to get that mentality of aggressively going to the basket. I think one thing that could help us is crashing 3 or 4 guys to the offensive end rather than just 2 or 3. Doesn't sound like much, but it's an attitude change. If you do that, then I think that'll carry over defensively. However, if you do crash 4 guys, that does leave you vulnerable getting back. So we've been working on transitioning back in a different way than we've done in the past. So that's the main thing, is crashing 4 offensive boards to gain aggressiveness. And to gain aggressiveness too is sort of get the monkey off these guys' back. If you're a team that grinds it out, which we sort of are, and hanging on, and you lose close games, you need something to get that monkey off your back. So just going out and crashing, hopefully sort of like the new blood of the young guys, sort of gives them the opportunity to prime their engines and get over the hump, get a few easy baskets, and that's the idea. And that's what we've been working on. We'll stick with it unless it's failing miserably. Then we'll go back to what we know works, but that's the idea.
Okay. And what's the morale of the team like? These seniors have been through a lot the last 3 years. Only won 16 games the last 3 years. Yeah. What are they feeling during their senior season?
Well, I think you probably need to ask them, and even if they answered you, probably wouldn't know for sure. I don't think you do know for sure. You have to gauge it probably best on your observation. And I think the main thing is, I think they know, they need to know that I'm sticking with them. I appreciate their effort. I like how far they've come. They had a long way to go, as I said, but they have come a long way. I think they're making a good, honest effort. I've been around long enough. I think I can judge that. And so stick with it, and the more you stick with them, and that doesn't mean, cuddling up to them and being all, but, keep on challenging them. Like, I think you guys can be challenged and you guys can do it. So I think all right, but again, we haven't played any games. teams.
Yeah.
And, early success would be good.
Mhm.
But if it's not there, then stick with it. It has to be.
Okay.
You return 5 starters from last year. I know you like
Yeah.
juggling guys in and out the starting rotation a little bit, but could any of the freshmen see starting time this season?
I don't know if I like juggling. I like finding out
Matchups,
what works.
getting the right matchups.
Yeah.
That's what I should say.
Well, I like finding out what works. Yeah, anything's on the chart. I think our guys know that seniority plays a role, that they are definitely going to get their opportunity because they've earned it, but that doesn't guarantee that somebody else can't come and outcompete them for it. And that's good for the freshmen. I think they know that if they work hard, their opportunity will come, but also if they work really, really hard and their opportunity's there, they'll get it. And so, who knows? It is nice having 5 guys back that started a large majority of the games. They're comfortable with it. I think that's important, that starting of the games being in a comfort zone. But, yeah, there's several freshmen that could see playing time.
One last question here. Looking back, the last time you had this much experience, you won 20 games, made it to the NCAA tournament. What kind of expectations do you have coming into this season?
Well, I think I always have the same expectations. Be as good as you can be, do the best you can, and I know in today's media age that's sort of like a cop-out, but it's not. I don't ever put limits on teams. The first group I had that ended up going to the Final Four was 500 in the middle of the season, and then they got on a roll. So that's why you don't give up. That's why you stick with it. It's the 5th year anniversary of those guys. I just talked to some of them, and they had no idea. They knew that they were going to come out and give it their best effort. And in ways, that group was probably more dominant than the group that went to the Final Four because they were actually ranked in the top 10 and leading the conference, which hasn't been won here since '79, for a large part of that year. So I don't know. I guarantee I don't know what half the other teams in the conference have because of all the I have no idea. So I do know, that doesn't mean I do know what we have to do, what I think we have to do, how we have to do it, and how we need to prepare for the other teams. And that's what we do each day. And I hope it takes these guys as far as they can possibly go.
Okay. Well, that's all we have for this week. Coach, thanks for coming on again. And Logan, thanks. And check out the special edition in the Index this week.